In August 1964, North Vietnamese torpedo boats attack a U.S. warship in the Gulf of Tonkin. In response, Congress passes the Southeast Asia Resolution, allowing President Johnson to conduct military operations in the region without a declaration of war. By March of 1965, U.S. aircraft begin bombing targets in Vietnam, and the first troops arrive. They win victories over North Vietnamese forces and the Viet Cong, communist sympathizers in the South. The big battles are around Chu Lai and in the Ai Drang Valley, a fierce three-day fight in rugged terrain that inspires the movie We Were Soldiers. Among the casualties, Sergeant Paris Dutch from Carroll County, Kentucky, a soldier in the 7th Cavalry Regiment. In that battle and many others, helicopters play a key role like never before, and at least one of those brave pilots is from northern Kentucky.
My name is Jerry Riches, live in Fort Thomas, Kentucky, and I served in Vietnam in the 119th Assault Helicopter Company from 1965 to 1966. When you had a helicopter with a crew chief, gunner, and 2 pilots, you carried whatever they asked you to carry. It didn't make any difference whether it was combat assault, whether it was an extraction of a previous assault, whether it was medevac, whether it was picking up body bags, carrying out ammunition. It didn't make any difference. You called, we hauled. If we were on the way back from someplace and somebody called and said, we're under fire, we got their coordinates, we called in whatever we could, and then we stood by. If they needed us to come in and pick up people, then that's exactly what we did. If it wasn't for people like us, and not just me, I'm talking about the helicopter pilots, the cargo guys, the airlift guys. If it wasn't for people like us, Special Forces guys out in the A teams and the B teams wouldn't have gotten any mail, wouldn't have gotten any beer, warm or cold. They needed ammunition. They were so grateful, for us to come in, this type of thing. And I'll tell you what, to land in one of the A-team areas was a feat. They didn't teach you that in flight school. Okay, you did what you had to do.
In the jungle in Vietnam, you identify a lot of sounds, and some sounds make you very happy. Some sounds you hope you never hear again. But we all got very good at identifying and approaching a helicopter. There's many people, many Vietnam survivors that can thank a helicopter pilot. On top of that, we lived in the jungle for extended periods of time, and we relied on them to get food and water and ammunition. To this day, I can hear a helicopter coming 10 miles out.
It used to be a mutual admiration society. That's what we always called it. We'd look out from up at 4,000 or 5,000 feet, and we'd say, boy, we wouldn't have your job any day, shape, or form, grunts. And they'd look at us and say, you guys are sitting ducks. When you come into a landing zone, you got to have belly up and flare to land, and you are naked. And we were. But we could at least go back, hopefully that night, and sleep in a decent bunk, this type of thing. Many times we couldn't carry, you could not carry the total number of people that needed to make an assault on the ground. So the worst scenario was to go in and get no fire, drop these guys off, and then they came out of the holes. And now you've got a third of a company on the ground. This is exactly what happened in the Ai Drang Valley. Exactly. They got in there in the first air cav, and they came in, they got under fire, and they couldn't get the other guys in because it was such a hot LZ. It was really, really tough.